When I was drafting this video, I was thinking that this is such a niche topic that no one could possibly care about. And then I realized that the whole point of these Tuesday videos is things that no one probably cares about. So yeah, this is that video. So this is a guide to traveling in Taiwan. Now, the reason why I say that this is probably not like the most important topic, Taiwan is not like the most popular in the context of the whole world. It is like recently pretty popular in like tourism. So like it is like this is like somewhat of a helpful video, I guess. But if you never plan on traveling to Taiwan, this video serves no purpose to you. But hopefully you enjoy watching it anyway. So yeah, this is not really the most important topic, but there is some value in it. Of course, since I live in Taiwan, it is something that I have learned as my in my time here. So it takes about 6.5 hours from the northmost point to the southmost point, like by car. This is a real place apparently. I guess because of like tourism, like they like a lot of countries label their most north and south point. Like for context, there is a east and a west point too. Taiwan is kind of shaped like a parrot. If you could just look at the photo. So yeah, it's about a 6.5 hour drive. I guess it could be a little quicker if they just went straight down the middle. But you get the idea, right? Like it is, it's a long time, right? Like it's definitely doable in a day, but it's just really tiring. Although in most cases, like this is not where most people live. Like I think like Taipei, like the north part of Taiwan and the south part of Taiwan, like really big cities, they're about 3 to 4 hours apart, but definitely not the most doable. So what if you can't drive? So the whole point of this video is if you can't drive, right? Because I can't drive. Taiwan is a small country. If you are American, similar to like Manhattan or like a big city, the buildings are like really tall in the city and the roads are kind of narrow. Motorcycles are more common because of this, because the roads are so narrow. And the terrain of Taiwan can vary a lot depending on where you are, right? Traffic is horrible in the city where I live in. Like it takes about 2 minutes for the crosswalk to change. And they give you like 15 seconds to walk. They did like this is something I've never really understood about crosswalks, and I think like any country might have this problem, especially like in New York, where like they give you like 15 seconds to walk, but and like that's like enough for most people. Maybe you have to sprint a little bit. I cannot tell you the amount of times I've had to run from to make it past the crosswalk light. And like I imagine if you're like a person who's like disabled or just walks slower in general, or like an elderly person, like I don't think 15 seconds is enough. But whatever. So the point is that driving is not the most common, and like walking obviously is not only going to get you so far. But of course, there are a lot of other options to travel through Taiwan. So the high-speed rail, the HSR. There is a Mandarin word for this, but for context, this is what I call it. Like the train is about 300 kilometers. I forgot what that is in miles. I think it's like 160 miles. It's fast. It takes about 2 to 3 hours to get from like, well, I guess the whole thing. It's probably based off Japan's trains. It's very well maintained and clean. I guess you could say it's luxury. Like it's like the more expensive option, but it's like very convenient. The price is about like 14 to 1500 new Taiwan dollar, or about like 50 American dollars. Obviously, there's no traffic, and there's like multiple that run throughout the day. I thought it was like only a few a day because it, like take 3 hours and like 24 hours and divide. But of course, I found out that they come every like 10 minutes. But it's definitely like the most convenient option. Really, the biggest downside of it is obviously the price is higher, or just high in general, and it might skip a few cities. Like it is, I wouldn't really call it a straight line, but you can tell like it has like a set path, right? Because it's going so fast, it can't really turn, so it just kind of like goes like that. But yeah. So the alternative to this is the Taiwan Rail. So this is like basically the subway. This is like a slower, cheaper option, and it's about like 1,000 Taiwanese dollar, or like 30 American dollars. It just takes about like maybe 1.5 times as long, which isn't really a big deal. If you're not in a rush, this is like the go-to option. Prices, like I said, aren't the worst, I think. Like the one thing I think that will come up a few times in this channel anytime I talk about Taiwan, like Taiwan's standard for money is a little lower. Like what is it? Like I think like YouTube memberships cost like half the price if you compare it to American money. But you get the idea, right? So this is like affordable, right? It tends to have more stops. You look at the map over there; it's basically the same as the like the high speed rail map, but like there's like a little bit more variation, and of course they're able to go to the east side, which is pretty hard to get by car. This is like the OG Taiwan train. Just Japan did build this for us. So thank you, I guess. And it's a little more old fashioned. Like it looks kind of like a little like dirty, if that makes any sense, but it's not actually dirty. It's just like older, so the things look a little rustier. You get the idea, right? But of course, it looks less quality, but it's perfectly fine. If you're comparing this to like American subways, like it is so much better. It's just a little bit more like chaotic because like it's a little bit more accessible and people ride it more often. So sometimes you can just walk on the train, and like that's it. Like you can just stand there. So it's a little bit more cramped, but overall it's really the same thing. So traveling in the city. So even if you take either of these options, you probably are still like far away from your destination. Like for example, where I live, I'm still like 20 minutes away in car from like the actual city. Like Taiwan is small, but like we're like not that small, right? So it's pretty far if you can't drive, but there are still plenty of options to get places. Time for like the very popular option, which is the U-bike. This is Taiwan's rent-a-bike system. I know America has City Bike, or maybe that's just New York. I don't know. It's about like $10 per half hour, and like I think it costs more per half hour the longer you ride. But realistically, you shouldn't be biking that long anyway. But students like me get the first 30 minutes free. I think it has something to do with where I am. Like Taipei is like so many people that it just makes more sense to do it like this. And since I live pretty close to school, like I can walk there. But if I wanted to bike there, I get it for free basically. Use something called a yo-yo card. This is like the English way of saying it. It's basically just like a debit card for like stuff like a U-bike. You can also use it for the Taiwan subway. The bike is convenient. Like for what it's worth, like it is like what is it? Like it is convenient, but like riding bikes has its own risks. Especially if there's also motorcycles on the road. It doesn't seem like a great combo. There's like this intersection where I either ride the bike, and on the right is like a bunch of motorcycles which have a lot of sharp edges, and on the left is a bunch of cars. So like if I topple in either direction, it's not great. So I don't love riding the bike. I would prefer to walk. The farthest I have taken a U-bike is like 25 minutes to like get a charger. This is not a good idea, obviously. Like there are so many better options. At that point, Uber would have been better. And you'll notice that I'm not mentioning Uber because like obviously like Uber is just a car but more expensive, right? Like it's not usually like the first thing that comes to mind, especially if you're a tourist. That stuff adds up, right? Bus. So yes, Taiwan does have a bus system. You also use the yo-yo card or coins. That's fine too. It's similar to a car in speed, but a little slower. I think like especially the city, there's a lot of stops, so it's gonna stop a lot. But if you are in the less populated areas of Taiwan, it's like kind of hard to find bus stops. Like I don't really take the bus often, mostly because I live close to my school. But like I remember this one time where I was going like strawberry picking, which if you like obviously strawberry picking like it's like an open field, so it's gonna be like kind of in the middle of nowhere. And then I remember like we went to a bus stop and it was like legit covered by a tree, so you could not see like the bus stop. So we had to wave our hand in order to signal them. But for what it's worth, if you're in the city, even if you're not in the city, buses will work. But just, I guess the experience can vary depending on like the time of day. But you know how buses work probably, right? Like buses have very mixed experiences, right? Like it's just not always the most convenient. So it's time for like the holy grail, is like what I like to call it. The metro. It's like a mini train that transfer people between towns. It is more necessary than you think. Like I said, Taiwan is like small, but like if you're walking everywhere, you can't. Like you just can't. Like I guess the American or like New York equivalent of this, since I live in New York, is like the LIR. You can Google what that is. It's like a subway, but like faster or like more transportable. I don't know. It's primarily in northern Taiwan, as most people, not most people, but more people live in this like the population density of the cities that the metro is in is much higher. There's more people per land, if that makes any sense. And the metro is like really cool because there's like multiple different routes and they all connect together. And I think it's pretty genius. This might be from Japan. I don't know, or at least a lot of things in Taiwan are very influenced by Japan. There's a whole history there. Price is like 10 to 100 Taiwan dollars. It really depends on how far you go. But I think you can tell like price is not usually the concern. It's really conveniency, right? So the metro map. It connects 3 cities. Taipei, New Taipei, and Taoyuan. Don't ask me why it's called New Taipei. That's like a separate video. And it's 6 lines, like main lines, sorted by color. You can see them right there. And it connects 3 cities by the mini train. They all connect together somehow, right? I know, right? It seems like really chaotic. If you're wondering what that blue thing on the top, that's the Taiwan Strait. Obviously, that's like water. But yeah, these are like the 3, basically the 3 most northern cities in Taiwan, and a lot of people live here, so it's really convenient. So the purple line, this is probably like the most, like, I guess not convenient, but like the most used possibly because it connects to the airport. So it's really useful for international travel. If you're like usually like it's connected right to the airport, which means that if you are arriving in Taiwan, this is probably what you would take to get to somewhere else. It's the only line in Taoyuan, but it's the only one they need because it connects to Taipei and New Taipei. It's a little pricier because it's for the airport, and obviously it's in Mandarin, so like you're not like it's in Mandarin and English. You don't really know where these places are, but there's a few key places like the high-speed rail. It connects to the high-speed rail in a few areas, and also the Taiwan rail. And mind you, this is still Taoyuan. This is still one city, and even one city needs this much. It kind of shows to you like Taiwan isn't really that small, right? Like, well, another thing to note is that this is they also have an express. I didn't really put this down, but they do have an express mode. I think it's the name of a song. Express feature. And do you think it costs more money? It doesn't. Really, the only difference between express mode is that it just skips a lot more stops. Like for example, express mode only goes to like A3, A8, A18, and A21. Like if you're like obviously if you're on vacation here, you would probably know where you want to go. But for context, A3 is like a very popular destination for I think like industrial work. I don't know. Okay, the green line. So this is a little bit more of a casual metro. It is the green line that I live on. I'm not gonna tell you where I live on this line, but for what it's worth, I live close to the station, right? So it connects to the red line and a few others. And if you're wondering how long it would take to walk to another stop, the other day I walked to the next stop to get pizza, and it took about 15 minutes. Like that's fine, right? Like I'm okay walking 15 minutes. My campus is like 30 minutes away. But like if you're trying to get to like the 10th stop away from you, that adds up, right? Like that's just not possible. So yeah, the green line is where I live, and it's pretty convenient. I think it comes every 5 minutes. Since it's Taipei, I think it's like the center, so like it comes pretty often. So one way or another, everything connects. Like you can look at this map in more detail, but even if some lines stick out, like at the end of the day, you're still going to like lead to lead somewhere. Like if you go somewhere, you could probably get to every color starting from one stop. And I would film that. If I hit like 1,000 subscribers, okay, I think I would only do that if I made money off this channel, which is not gonna happen for a while at least. And as you can see, the green line is kind of in the middle. Actually, this isn't something I really notice often, but the green line is kind of connected to everything in probably the most direct way possible. You can see it overlaps with purple, red, orange, blue, and by default, like the brown line is there too. I don't know. Like I didn't mention the brown line because I've never seen it. Like I've never been on it. I don't even know where that is, to be honest. But okay, so this is A1. This is possibly like the part where like you know, it's like this is why I think it's genius, because this is A1. This is Taipei main station. Yes, Japan did build this for us. It's like the first station ever built for Taiwan, like maybe 60 years ago or something like that. And this is like the middle point of the whole system. Like, you go back, like A1 is like I don't have a cursor, but A1 is like, you scroll, Taipei main station is like in the middle of this map, right? So it connects to everything. So, well, not everything, but like mostly everything that you'd really need. So most importantly, it connects to the HSR, or the high-speed rail, and the Taiwan rail. And of course, it connects to the bus. Like if you walk outside, there's probably a bus waiting for you. And it connects directly to 3 lines: the green line, the red line, and the blue line, which by default will connect you to anywhere else. This is really the meeting point. If you live in northern Taiwan, this is really the meeting point to go anywhere, right? So example, so I live somewhere on the green line, and if I wanted to go to another place in Taipei, I can take the green line and then transfer to the red line after a few stops. But if I wanted to go to the airport line, I can get to A1 and then walk a little bit, I guess, and then I could get to the airport line. So, which is pretty convenient because I live in America. So if I like sometimes, I guess I go back there for vacation. So this is convenient. And the price really is like $200 a Taiwanese, which is like $6 American. I'm pretty sure $6 American can't even get you like a cart at the airport. So like in America, so this is worth your money, I think. And of course, from there, if I wanted to go to another city, like I often do, because my Taiwanese family lives in Tainan, South Taiwan, I could take the HSR from there because it connects. So what about the rest of Taiwan? So the metro covers most of northern Taiwan. And there are other lines in other cities. I think there's like 2 cities that have their own lines. They just don't connect to the North Taiwan lines. Like there's one in South Taiwan and a city called Kaohsiung, and one in like middle-ish Taiwan called Taichung. But it's still very efficient for traveling, even if it's not connected, right? And of course, these lines themselves will connect to the high-speed rail or Taiwanese rail at the very least. So yeah, this is a line in Kaohsiung, and it really puts into perspective that even like a city within a small country still has a lot of stops. Like I don't even know where these places are. I don't think I've been here before. But of course, it connects to the airport and the train station. So safety and quality. Like I would say, like they're like really clean and well maintained. If you look at the photo on the bottom right, there's like a door that doesn't open until the train comes. And like there's like really a small gap. Like I'm not trying to roast America, but be honest, America kind of roasts itself by just existing. Like if you've ever seen like a New York subway, it's terrible and unsafe. But you really don't feel too in danger when you're on the metro or the HSR. I think they also they banned eating or drinking on the metro, so it's like extremely clean, extremely safe. Even like the older ones, like from a longer time ago, they're still maintained extremely well. So yeah. So summation, there is actually a lot to Taiwan transport, and I would say it's extremely well planned out. Taiwan may be small, but you still need a transport system, because walking only gets you so far. And I think a lot of it is because Taiwan is so small, like that's why it works. And this is just me rambling about a topic that, hey, maybe if you've been thinking about going to Taiwan recently, but you're kind of concerned that it's hard to travel, well, this is the video for you, I guess. But hold on a sec. So if you were paying attention to like the maps that I've shown you, you'll probably notice something, right? Like all of them kind of veer to the west. Even like the one on the right kind of does that. So there is more to the story here. So Taiwan's transport is very allergic to going to the east, and it tends to stay mostly to the west, right? And of course, the metro like is primarily in the north. So what about the other places in Taiwan, like the middle? Like why is there nothing in the middle? So it turns out the map of Taiwan and its geography are pretty complicated. So this is my first cliffhanger. Oh my god, so epic. To be continued. We're going to leave you with this map. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it somewhat informative, maybe a little bit entertaining. Bye.